I was reminding the team, I was like, it's been since 2000 something since I've been here. But I mean, on the bright side is that
The ball leaves her hands before the idea even registers in yours. One blink and the pass is already threaded, through arms past doubt into history. Tonight, we're not counting assists. We're tracing vision. The scene opens with chaos. Carrington's full-court press smothering her breath, trying to deny movement itself. But Clark, head steady, shoulders relaxed, eyes scanning like a code breaker. She bounces the ball with calculated defiance. To Boston, one-on-one. No hesitation. Flip, finish. First drop of rhythm in the storm. Loose ball, not anymore. It's in Indiana's hands. Clark doesn't celebrate. She calculates, finds Smith, a laser, a lay-in, another beat in her growing highlight reel of vision. Rachel Wallace rises, a high arc jumper that punches the tension. Boom! Exclamation. Clark's back again. Step. Back, pull, no, handoff. Boston to Clark, Clark to Sampson. Swing, pop, net. Basketball ballet at breakneck speed. They try to slow her, force her into the half court, set their defense, reset their bodies. But Clark thrives in resets because her mind is already in motion. Tammy Benley slides in. Stewart, the four-time NCAA champion, is on the floor. But it's not about resumes now. It's about reads. Clark sees the shift before it happens. Cross-court pass to Samuelson. Corner three. Clean. Cruel. Cold. Indiana's bench erupts. Not because of the score, but because they've seen it again. The thread, the precision, the pulse of a point guard who doesn't just play the game. She conducts it. Two defenders? Doesn't matter. Clark weaves, head up, arms in rhythm. A bounce to Boston. Patient. Smooth. The kind of finish that doesn't just put up points. It quiets doubt. Every pass she makes tells a story. Not about where the ball goes, but where it could have gone. She makes defenders chase ghosts, and teammates look divine. Boston rumbles inside again, smooth and balanced. Then a fade, then a dart. Mitchell. Wide open, why? Because Clark drew two, and that bounce pass didn't just thread the lane, it split time. Wallace lets it fly, and the net answers like it's been waiting. Transition, the real chaos. Bonner misses, Benley snatches. Clark's already gone. The pass finds Benley like it knew her steps before she did. Lay in, smooth, easy, but only because Clark made it so. The camera doesn't catch her face, but you know she's already resetting. Eyes scanning for the next move. She calls for Boston, doesn't use her. Instead, hands it to Benley, who hands it right back. No wasted. Dribble. Clark loops behind with screen shift reset. Finds Boston. Jumper. Tie game. You can hear it now. The swell. The building isn't reacting to a single play. It's realizing it's witnessing something different. Cut. Back door. Mitchell glides in. 15 feet. Flick. Net. Stewart tries to answer. Boston denies. Clark. Bullet pass. Threaded needle. Smith. Lay in. You blink and the play is already past you. Benley goes again. Another dart. Another find. Clark keeps slinging. They're not assists. They're declarations. Caitlin fakes a three. Air balls. But Smith's there. Clark's already back in place. Finds Smith again, this time with patience, not power. Layup. Then a zip. A flick. Another Benley bucket. The crowd doesn't know when to cheer. It's all too fast. Mitchell again. Open. Splash. Clark creates gaps that shouldn't exist and turns those gaps into gold. Wallace. Again. Another three. Another chain of passes. From Boston to Clark to Wallace. Bang. Wheeler pulls up. Jumper. Fever rolling now. Bonner's cold. Clark is fire. Benley. Again and again. It's not luck. It's a rhythm that only one conductor hears. Boston calls for it. Instead, Clark swings it to Benley. She tries to return it. Settles. Then finds Boston again. But Clark, already racing, Another screen. Another dish. Boston. Tied game. Kelsey Mitchell cuts. Lefty finish. You can feel it now. Indiana's not just scoring, they're flowing. They're alive. Smith takes it coast to coast. Boston battles one-on-one. And Clark, bullet pass after bullet pass, drops jaws across the league. Sampson gets one, then Benley again, against a taller defender. Doesn't matter. Clark's setup neutralized the height. Cook's stuck. Benley recovers. Clark's already in transition. Finds her again. Lay in. The ball hums when she touches it. It knows where to go. Because she knows before anyone else does. The crowd loves the logo threes. But the passes are the poetry. Wallace cuts again. Another feed. Another highlight. Boston's back. Left hand, soft touch. Timeout. Opponent's bench frustrated. Clark unfazed. Samuelson strips it. Clark scoops it. Feeds back to Benley, who dances inside for two. They try traps. Clark finds gaps. They rotate. She recalibrates. Nothing is forced. Everything is felt. She sees Mitchell curling, bounce pass like lightning. Three, crowd explodes. Smith cuts baseline. Clark lobs, perfect timing. Benley again, bucket. Wheeler checks in, finds Boston. Back to Clark, back to Boston. Foul, and one. The plays don't just work, they speak. Inbound, Boston to Clark. Clark returns the favor. Boston fires. Three, buried. Clock ticking. Boston's second three. 5-point game. Fever flexing. And still, Clark's head is on a swivel. Smith running again. Clark finds her in stride. Another lay-in. Another record? Not even the point anymore. Because this isn't about numbers. This is about vision. About a player rewriting the role of a rookie. About a game bending around one mind. And this, the lights blaze. The crowd rises. And in the heart of this chaos, there is a calm. A calm named Caitlin Clark. The rookie phenom, the vision keeper, the passer of fate. Not merely a scorer. Not just a shooter. No, not anymore. Tonight, she was a storm wrapped in grace. A whisper before the thunder. And every pass, a revelation. From the opening tip, Caitlin was electric. Her eyes scanned faster than any defender could think, as if the court itself unfolded for her like a map. And with a flick of the wrist, she drew lines, not with ink, but with precision. And the fever followed. 3, 2, 1, pull up, bang. She knocked it down. And maybe, just maybe, she got hit by Griner on the way down. But no whistle came. Didn't matter. Caitlin rose anyway. Down along the baseline, bodies crashed. Momentum twisted like ribbon. And still she recovered. Somehow always balanced, always seeing. Like she had eyes in places no one else dared to look. Bounce pass, threaded needle, Mitchell, open, splash. Time and again, it was Clark to Mitchell. And time and again, the net danced. They say Kelsey Mitchell isn't afraid of the moment. But with Clark behind the wheel, she's never alone in it. Boston slipped to the elbow. Clark's bounce pass came like poetry. Not flashy, not loud, but perfectly timed. Bucket. Aaliyah Boston was heating up. And this is where Caitlin. Clark thrives. Pace, space, fire. 5 assists in just over 5 minutes. The scoreboard couldn't keep up with her imagination. This wasn't a game. It was a clinic. It was a vision quest. And Caitlin was leading it with nothing but her will, her wisdom, and her wizardry. The ball barely touched her fingers before it was gone again, like a magician's sleight of hand. One moment, it was hers. The next, it was in Boston's lap, in Smith's stride, in Mitchell's hands ready to explode. She had 7 assists before the quarter even blinked. Step into it, Smith, from deep, splash. Clark didn't flinch, just nodded, like she knew it was coming all along. They say passing is the lost art, but not here. Not tonight. Tonight, Caitlin Clark was the artist. and every stroke on that hardwood was a masterpiece. Even on defense, Mitchell swarmed. Fever moved like a single organism. And when the stop came, Clark lashed a pass up court over a skyline of hands, hitting Mitchell in full stride. Lefty lay. Bucket. The bench erupted. The crowd swayed. Behind the back? Of course. She made it look so easy, so effortless. But the truth is, only the greats can make the difficult disappear. She drove, drew two, dropped it off. Boston, again, too easy. Time stood still. The Mercury defenders, frozen. The Fever, flying. Another bounce, another laser. Mitchell, right corner. Three. Bang. Caitlin's 13th assist, and with it, a franchise record was shattered. Laney tried to pressure her. Length, speed, strength. But Clark? She had angles the human eye wasn't built to see. How did that pass get through? Only Caitlin knows. Before the Olympic break, before the final buzzer, Clark made sure every teammate touched greatness. Smith, count it. A hard drive, a soft finish, and Clark, already backpedaling, calm as ever. But this wasn't just a fence. It was rhythm. It was poetry. It was basketball elevated. Clark to Boston. Boston to the net. Clark to Smith. Smith to the line. Even. The defenders smiled. Because what do you do when greatness is unfolding in front of you? Fast break. Behind the back pass. And a foul. And one. Melissa Smith finished. Clark raised one finger in the air, not in celebration, but as if to say, one more, let's keep going. She never stops, not when she's tired, not when she's pressured, not even when she's doubled. And when teammates hesitate to shoot, she finds them again, gives them the green light, tells them, you're ready. Boston slipped past Howard. Clark waited, then fired the pass when only Boston could get it. Precision, execution, trust. Mitchell again. Corner three, splash. The assist, Clark. 13 assists, 14, 15. And still, the passes kept coming, like waves against the rocks. Relentless, powerful, poetic. Mitchell, 28 points. Every bucket felt like a duet. Clark the conductor, Mitchell the instrument. Caitlin's 10th assist tied the record. The 11th broke it. The 12th made history. The 13th? That was just her art. Hull wide open. Three? Yes. Clark again. Final minutes. Game on the line. Bounce to Boston. Post move. Spin. Finish. Another one. Then Mitchell. Then Smith. Every movement of the Fever offense was in perfect harmony, conducted by Clark's hands, guided by her mind. In 40 minutes, Caitlin Clark painted a portrait of selflessness, of speed, of surgical precision, of total dominance, not by force, but by finesse. You can't teach what she sees. You can't defend what she knows. And you sure can't stop what's coming next. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a storm, a passer of lightning, a keeper of rhythm. And the reason Indiana Fever is rising, one assist at a time.